No more delays. Let's get started. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ivan Monreal, and I will be hosting today's presentation. For our first 1 Million Cups Chico of the year, we are pleased to introduce We Sparkle as part of our Where Are They Now series. We Sparkle presented for their first time in November 2021, and they have sparkled their way to success over the last year. Here to tell us more about We Sparkle and how they are helping other small businesses succeed is founder Michelle Maryns. Is that how I pronounce it?
Yes, you got it.
So just a quick overview. I will be talking about the history of 1 Million Cups, and then Michelle will give her presentation, and then we'll have a Q&A for Michelle, and finally, I'll wrap up with our closing. 1 Million Cups was created by Ewing Marion Kaufman Foundation. The Kaufman Foundation works with communities and entrepreneurs and education to increase opportunities that allow people to learn, take risks, and own their own success. What is 1 Million Cups? 1 Million Cups is a free weekly program that engages, educates, and connects local entrepreneurs. In the beginning, 1 Million Cups started off very small in Kansas City. Then it grew later to 2 communities, and in 2014, 23 communities. By 2018, it grew to 160 communities throughout the US. Now there are over 130 communities, 1 to 2 presentations a week, 6-minute presentations, and 15 minutes Q&A. If you want to learn more about 1 Million Cups, feel free to join our amazing community online and visit our platform at www.1millioncups.com/Chico to sign up. Thanks for being here today, Michelle, and take it away. You could share your screen and start the presentation.
Great, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Great, well, thank you so much for inviting me back to share some updates on We Sparkle. 1 year later, we're really excited to share about our growth and some of the questions and challenges that we've come across. So since I spoke with you in November of 2021, we have improved upon our minimum viable product, and we have a much more robust platform, more polished, with more features and more capabilities and functionality. We hired another software engineer, Okur No, who you see there. So it's me on the left, our CTO, Nick Weber, next to me, and then next to him is Okur No, who's our newest software engineer. And to her right is Melissa Gutierrez Nelson, who's our head of community. She is joining us today too. So if you have questions about We Sparkle, you can ask her as well as me. We also finished raising our first round of financing, really proud and to say that we finished that up last year. And we're currently serving over 500 subscribers, and our goal is to get to 1,000 by the end of this year. In terms of those platform updates that I mentioned, we have quite a few that we've rolled out. We're constantly learning from our customers about any new features or functionality that they wish they could have, things that we can do to improve our platform to make their lives easier as small business owners. And so some of the things that we've rolled out or are soon to roll out are that we have a tier that's free forever, the Sparkle sites. And with those Sparkle sites, we've added some additional functionality that is free. So you can, we also offer a free appointment type for people to schedule time with you, whether that's you're booking time to hire a candidate and you want to do a job interview with them, or maybe you are an appointment-based service businesses, so you charge for haircuts or consultations. People can book and pay with that with you, or you teach classes. And so we offer one free appointment type with the Sparkle Sites tier. We also are allowing you to test out our one of our premium features, the Sparkle Assistant. So you get a chance to see how that works by using the default kind of frequently asked questions. So I know a lot of you have heard about ChatGPT and it's causing a lot of buzz. We have our own conversational AI assistant that essentially will answer questions for you over Facebook Messenger, or if your customers text your business phone number. And so we're letting you test that out with the free tier. And then also our contact relationship management tool, our CRM, we are allowing you to access that through the free tier as well. And so we wanted people to be able to test out some of our more premium features in the free tier. And so we're allowing some of that to be available at that tier. And then for our paid tiers, we have some new features that are being added that are currently working. For example, we have team scheduling now. So some of our clients were asking for the ability to add team members. So for example, Melissa and I might want to have an appointment type where both of us are available in order to do a demo or certain meetings. And so now you can add a team member and people can schedule time with both of you. So it only shows the availability for both of you on both of your calendars to book. There's also just easier scheduling overall when it comes to showing the availability between the person who's booking and the person they're booking with. And I can demo that in just a second. And we also allow you to add custom fields so that when people are scheduling appointments with you, you can gather information from them, you know, if they have certain preferences. Let's say you're scheduling an event and you want to know if people have dietary needs, you know, maybe if they're vegetarian or if you want, you know, if they want the chicken or the fish option, you can make that available so that when they're booking for the event, they can list those things. And we've also improved a lot on if you do recurring bookings. So if you have, you know, the same meeting every week or every month, the ability to change those really easily. So those are just some of the features that I have. And I always think it's better to just demo them so that you can see what I'm talking about, because I'm much more of a visual learner than just being talked at in audio. So I can kind of show you some of the things that we have going on. So these are our Sparkle sites. It's where you can show all of your social media links. You can share it with others. You can obviously customize it with your handle. So it'd be Sparkles, whatever your handle is. A little bio about your company or business. We provide a Sparkle number so people can connect with you and ask questions. And we also have a button here that allows you to collect donations. Some people use this to sell gift cards. So you can, it's basically a virtual tip jar that you can customize for your needs. And then we have these different scheduling, and you can sell products. You can offer freebies or lead magnets so that people can submit their email address to download your freebie, and then you can follow up with them to see if they're interested in further consultation or purchasing one of your products. And of course, you can list all of the links that you have if you've been written up in certain articles, if you've been on 1 Million Cups presenting, if you've been on a podcast. So that's the Sparkle site. The back end is a lot cleaner and easier to use since we spoke. It's a lot easier to update all of that information. And the assistant is working on the Facebook pages. So if people want to book an appointment with you, they can do that over Facebook Messenger on your Facebook business page, just through the Messenger app. So you can schedule a 30-minute appointment. You can ask questions like, where are you located? And the assistant will automatically answer that. And that's all stored on the back end here in the customized FAQs. So this is where you can put all the answers to the questions that you commonly get. And your assistant will answer for those for you on your Facebook business page or as a chat on your website. So if I were to do this flow here, you can see how that works. So it works over Facebook Messenger. It works over text message. So if I text our Sparkle number here, I'd also get the same conversation. And then if I do a chat on someone's website, it also works that way. And where are you located, for example? And it should answer me based on whatever her assistant. This is a different business, and she's available, or she's located in New Hope, Minnesota. A lot of people have been putting their Sparkle sites on as their link in bio on Instagram, so they can have one place where they can put all their links. People can book time with them. They can purchase their products, download their freebies, and things like that, fill out client surveys. And so that's all available. And some of the new features, let me share my other screen. I can show you some of the new features that we have that are different from before. So this is a kind of a copy of my old site, but with the new features that we have that we've built out. So for example, with appointments, you can now you can add custom fields. So like I said before, if you want to know, like, if you have a certain question that you want to ask clients as they're coming in, like, what is your biggest business challenge? You can ask that when they book time with you, and you can do it as a drop down, like they could select different options, or you can just let them kind of free form field, put that in, and that saves it so that when people book time with you, they have to answer that question. So it helps with your intake process. You can also add team members. So I just added Melissa here, but I could add other team members as well. And so then we can have appointments where it's just me. We can have appointments where Melissa and I are both available. We can have appointments where both Nick and I are available. So those are some of the new things that we have going on. This is our gratitude journal. We've had that, but it's just a little way to help you build some self-care into your routine. So taking time to do our guided meditation tool, build that into your calendar as you are meeting with people. You also want to take some time for yourself as well, or filling out our gratitude journal. And these are both methods that have been shown to improve your focus, your concentration, your overall well-being, which really helps you to sustain your business. We also allow people to limit the number of meetings they have every day so that you don't go crazy, that you block off time to actually work on your business as opposed to in your business. And I will just take questions. Any questions that people have? I know I kind of showed a lot of different things, but I just want to give a really brief overview of some of the updates that what has been going on with us, but happy to answer any questions that people have.
What's the most popular business? The solopreneurs, obviously. What kind of industry are they?
So the majority of our subscribers are consultants and coaches. I think that is because during this pandemic, there are a lot of layoffs that happened or reduced hours. And so I think a lot of people, most of them are in their 30s or 40s. They've built up some expertise in certain areas. Maybe it's marketing or other types of fields. And so they often start a side hustle as a consultant or a coach. And then sometimes it turns into their full business, full-time business. And so I think the majority of the solopreneurs who we work with are consultants and coaches. There's also a fairly low barrier to entry to starting a consultancy or coaching practice. You don't need a lot of ingredients or materials or equipment in order to start that type of business.
That was my question too. And what's your unicorn business or ultimate user that you'd want to use your service? And if I remember correctly, last year I think you had like the hairstylist. Those were your first couple new users, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So at the beginning, we focused mostly on hair salons. I even worked as a coordinator at a hair salon for a while. And so I knew that they needed a lot of these tools to help them because they're an appointment-based service business. When the pandemic hit, a lot of those beta customers who were participating in our pilot had to close their hair salons. And so we quickly pivoted. We integrated Zoom into our platform and became an official app in the Zoom marketplace, and continued still working with appointment-based service businesses, but the majority of them, there were fewer hair stylists, hair salons that were customers, and more of them became consultants or coaches.
Space more in the Minnesota area, or have you branched out beyond that? What's your plan for that?
Yeah, so we still obviously we're based in Minnesota and still have a lot of customers in Minnesota, but we've branched out. We even have users as far away as Nepal using it. A lot of people in England for some reason. I think it's because I was interviewed for an article there, and Canada. We also are expanding a lot into Central and South America. We've partnered with an organization called Trade Center for the Americas that works with small business owners in Central and South America. And so we've been looking at translating all of our tools into Spanish so that it's just even more easy to access, and really looking at just continuing to grow, not just here in the US, but outside the US as well.
You've been on a number of podcasts, and we keep an eye on you.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a super fun journey. It's amazing having Melissa and the others on the team to help us continue growing. Melissa is fantastic at helping people set up their Sparkle sites, answering any questions they have, and just making sure that their business is set up for success. I think that a lot of people, especially during the pandemic, have had to transition their businesses to being online. Maybe they used to be brick and mortar or do things kind of more manually that way. But with the pandemic and the inability for people to travel sometimes in person, it's been really great for them to expand their customer base globally. You might have had yoga classes in person, here in Minnesota, and now we know some people who are teaching, yoga to people in Germany or like other countries. And so I think it really opens up a lot of opportunities when people do transition their business to being more online, or at least having some of that capability online. And these tools just make that easier to do it.
Yeah, I mean, even 1 million cups, I mean, before COVID, I mean, we were doing, more local, regional presenters, and then we would have never met you.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Never say never, or assume, but if it really wasn't for the pandemic, I guess you gotta look at the positive, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my brother lives in Sacramento, which isn't too far from Chico. And so hopefully I would have met you at some point, but yeah, it definitely opens up the opportunities for people. We've been really happy. Okur, who's our newest team member, lives in California, and we wouldn't have necessarily thought about that before, but because everyone's working remotely and it works out really well, we're able to have team members all over the country.
Awesome. So what is your growth plan employee wise?
So right now we are looking for someone to be our head of growth, someone to really help us expand. Our platform, our product is in a really good place. It's very robust. Things are working really well. Of course, we'll continue to improve it. We do 2-week sprints, so we're always looking at ways to improve it, even just small tweaks to help better serve our customers. But overall, the platform is in a good place. And so we're really looking at growing and expanding our subscriber base, growing our community. And so looking for someone to help us achieve some of those goals. I think I mentioned that our goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And so really want someone to help lead us in those efforts, creating more awareness about what we're doing, and that these tools are available for people who want to start their business, or if they want to continue growing their business.
I guess that kind of covers what can 1 million cups do for you at this point. You answered that question.
Yes, definitely. I mean, partnerships too. I know we spoke with someone who we met through 1 million cups, Chico, who works on economic development. And so we've been connecting with a lot of economic development organizations, chambers of commerce, co-working spaces, accelerator programs, and incubator programs. And we've been able to work on deals with them where they are able to make these tools available to the business owners in their networks. And so it's been really great seeing people, we've seen people, for example, just start with an idea and now they have a full-fledged business. People are purchasing their products or services through their Sparkle site. And so it's just, that's what gets us up in the morning, I think, is just being able to see people's kind of business ideas really grow and become full-fledged businesses. And some people have been able to leave kind of their 9-to-5 job and make this side hustle their full-time gig.
Great. Well done.
Thank you.
I have a question. I wasn't here for the first presentation in 2021. What led you to this idea? What problem did you see or have and you're like, oh, this is going to be my business?
Yes. So first of all, just personally, my mom was the first business owner I knew. She had a really successful fabric business back in Vietnam. But when my parents immigrated here to the US, they were part of the first wave of refugees that came over in 1975 after the Vietnam War ended. And we ended up in a really small farming town in Kansas. And there just weren't a lot of resources for people like my mom. And so she didn't feel confident continuing her business here in the US because of all the language barriers and the cultural barriers, the systemic barriers. And I always wonder what she could have accomplished if she had. And so I really was interested in issues of economic empowerment. And so when I started working, I thought, federal government would be where I could have the biggest impact. And it was in that job that I fell in love with technology. I was a foreign service officer for my first job. And I was put in charge of this huge website called travel.state.gov. And I really saw the impact that technology could have in helping a lot of different situations. And so every job I've had since then has been in tech. But the most recent one before starting We Sparkle was at an economic development organization called MEDA. It's a community development financial institution, or a CDFI, that helps minority entrepreneurs succeed. So people like my mom. And I was just so inspired. A lot of the entrepreneurs who I met were like, Michelle, you should start your own business, because I was building out an IT platform for them. They're like, entrepreneurs need lots of different software tools. A lot of them aren't leveraging technology to help their businesses, and you can do it in a way that makes it really easy and accessible and affordable. And so I kind of took their advice and I took the leap and started working on We Sparkle at the end of 2018, mostly doing research, interviewing, observing small businesses. I especially focused on businesses owned by women and people of color, because women of color are actually the fastest growing segment of entrepreneurs, but their revenues are not on par with their peers. And so I really wanted to figure out, how can I help more of these underestimated entrepreneurs increase their revenues? And that's why I focused mostly on appointment-based service businesses, because those were the types of businesses that many women and people of color were starting, and developed these tools based on what I saw. In a lot of my research, I found that about the majority of these small business owners were wasting about 68% of their time just on repetitive administrative tasks. So things like going back and forth over email or over the phone to schedule appointments or reschedule appointments, or like answering the same questions over and over again. And so I wanted to figure out tools that could address those issues so that they could spend more of their time on kind of those higher level tasks, thinking more strategically about their business instead of kind of in the day-to-day kind of mundane things that, their Sparkle assistant can handle.
Or that they'd have to pay extra for to
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you hire like, a human assistant, depending on where you live, it can be, $30,000 a year up. So having, a Sparkle assistant is definitely more affordable, and it can handle a lot of kind of the majority of some of those questions and scheduling issues that come up.
awesome.
I have one more question. I have an app that also people like in the barber shop world, I know, like NorCal and SoCal, they use Booksy. Have you heard of it? What like separates you from them?
Yeah, so I think the biggest difference between us and Booksy is, Booksy is great for scheduling appointments. We have this Sparkle assistant that is really unique and different. So you can use your assistant to answer questions for you as well as schedule appointments. And it works over your Facebook, it works over a chat on your website, or it works over texting, the Sparkle number. And so, that's very different. And then also text message marketing. A lot of business owners know about email marketing, so they'll send out emails, but emails only have about 20% open rate. Whereas with text messages, the open rates on average are around 98%. So people are very likely to open a text message. And a lot of small business owners don't realize that the power of that and how you can use that to help increase your revenues. And so we have this contact relationship management tool, or a CRM, that you can tag all of your contacts, current clients, prospective clients, business partners, team members, whatever you want to do. You can sort and filter by them, and then you can actually text them or email. And so, you might have a sale going on for 10% off your services this week. You can text all of your current clients and let them know, hey, this is available, and hopefully increase your bookings and your sales that week. So I think those are some of the big differentiators between us and a tool like Booksy. But it really depends on your business. I mean, and your needs. But we really wanted to create something that was really, really easy to use. Even my mom can use it, and she's not very tech savvy, and has everything that you really need to get started with your business online.
So Booksy must be just more of a reservation
True.
system, or like a restaurant.
I think I saw in passing, you support Stripe. Do you also support PayPal?
We're actually working on the PayPal integration right now as we speak, so that should be rolling out soon. We started with Stripe just because it was the easiest to get going as developers. It's easy to connect. If you don't have a Stripe account, you can create a new one, and we walk you through that. And then all of the proceeds that you collect from sales or donations or tips or whatever you're collecting go straight to your bank account. But we are working on the PayPal one right now as we speak.
Well, a market you might consider is like home repairs, or maybe car electronic installation of various types. Because I know a lot of people are about that. And those could be appointment based.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. I was just talking to my husband yesterday because he actually had to take our car in for some work. And he was like, oh, they need a Sparkle assistant because he was having a hard time getting a hold of someone. So I might start by talking with them and hopefully expanding from there.
Is there a reason why you don't use Apple Pay? Or maybe I missed that.
We don't have Apple Pay integrated yet, but we could do that. We started with Stripe to see how the kind of payment processing works, and it's been going well. And so we're slowly adding some of the other payment processing like PayPal and Apple Pay and things like that. So we should be seeing those in the future. Right now we're working on PayPal, but we definitely consider Apple Pay as well.
Cool. Any other questions?
Looks good. Looks like a lot of progress.
Yeah, this is really cool. We, have presenters, but I'm like looking up here, but I'm also looking at my phone. That come in, and then we don't know, how they're doing. I mean, a lot of them are following on Instagram and stuff, and so that's what kind of gave us the idea to, kind of bring you back and get an update, and then re-put it out there and give that opportunity. So maybe we'll come here too.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's fun reconnecting, and it kind of gave me time too to reflect on everything that we've done over the past year.
Yeah.
So it was a really neat way to share that with you. And if anyone has questions or anything going forward, you can always feel free to connect with me or Melissa at wesparkle.co and let us know if you have questions or if you want to partner.
Sure. And Becca, if we can help you in any way too, we're happy to do so.
Great.
If you could just stop sharing your screen real quick, I'm going to finish off our
Thanks,
presentation.
Michelle.
Yes, thank you.
Kudos to you and your team
Thank you.
and your dream.
All right, so I would like to thank Eva Shepherd for being our host today. I would also like to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, and I'd also like to list the upcoming events we have. The SBD is hosting a webinar called Here, There, Everywhere Online Strategy, January 12th at 12 p.m. SCORE is also holding a webinar called 2023 Hottest Business Idea Trends and Markets, January 17th at 1 p.m. And we are hosting, partnered with Google, Grow with Google, Ponga sus negocios en la búsqueda de Google y Maps, which just means help your business to put it on Google and Maps. That's going to be January 24th, 10 a.m. in Spanish. And as always, I'd like to thank our audience. And lastly, I would like to leave you with this quote: "The secret of getting ahead is getting started." Mark Twain. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Michelle, Melissa. I appreciate you being here today and kind of short notice.
Yes, thank you. All
Take care.
right, bye.
Bye. Okay. Well, that's exciting.